Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Duke CT, back with you once again. And man, another one bites the dust. Another one has bitten the dust. And well, I'm not really surprised by this because even though the promotion was good, everything else. In fact, let me just see something right here. By the way, hope you're enjoying the night, ladies and gentlemen. Dukect Lounge live as well. If you want to join in, the chat room's unlocked, and you can want to come in and talk to right and all that good stuff. Get in, connect to me, Duke CT. The phone number, as always, is. Let me just get the stuff here right now. Make sure everything got this whole straightened out and everything because I want to make sure I get it right because Lord knows if you don't get it right, you might get it wrong. And no one wants to get things wrong. Nobody likes getting things wrong. Anyway, the phone number is 605-562-0444. Once again, the number is 605-562-0444. And to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, the number to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. But if you have a headset and you have a microphone, you could just use that, copy the link, and you can just come in as you are right here if you want to connect to me, if you want to talk to me. It's right here. It is going to be putting the message right here. If you want to, right there, link right there to talk to me, Duke CT. Because I think this is going to be something people want to talk about. They want to, well, that's what we're going to talk about right here. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, this keeps happening. and Star Wars and all this stuff here. Well, let's get into it because you see the thing here. The Acolyte has been, well, canceled. It has been canceled. No season two for this, and it came out yet a couple days ago. The story of the Acolyte will not continue. Lucasfilm opting not to proceed with the second season of the Star Wars offsuit is basically, the sources tell deadline. The word decision comes more than a month after the 8 episode first season of the series creator, director, executive producer, showrunner Leslie Heinlein wrapped this run on Disney Plus. Then, Star Wars did. The problem is the show did okay with critics, 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, but divided Star Wars fans, which is, reflecting its overall viewership. Driven by interest in a variable space franchise, it got a strong start, generating 4.8 million views in its first day on the streamer to rank its biggest series premiere on Disney Plus this year. It tally rose to 11.1 million views globally after 5 days of streaming. Uh, you know, according to this the data with the Nielsen's top 10 originals charts and such. But Acolyte could not sustain momentum, dropping out of the top 10 by week 3 and staying off before returning at number 10 after the release of the finale, believed to be the lowest for a Star Wars series finale. Ouch. Like fellow global streamers, Netflix and Prime Video, Disney Plus has a high viewership threshold for renewing high and big budget series that cost well above $100 million per season to make. Yeah. That is the problem here. It costs way too much money. And right here with the IMDb stuff here. Let's see. I'm looking at the cost here, the budget. I'm looking to see why this show continues to have this here. Let's see. Here it is. I'm looking at the cost breakdown. Right here, according to this Forbes article, here's the problem. The problem is this right here. It costs $180 million for 8 30-minute episodes. Think about that for a minute. You have spent over $180 million in these huge, big budget shows. Oh, God, I don't know what ads. Why did he say? I have Brave on. Why is this stuff happening? But yeah, here's the problem. But Nielsen says premiere was half the views of Ahsoka, 75% lower than The Mandalorian, and it's the second least watched show behind the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. Ouch. Yeah. Ooh, another problem there. I mean, I like Andor, but here's the problem. It costs $250 million budget. These shows are basically long form miniseries. This is a problem for most of these shows and Disney shows, in my personal opinion. In fact, most of the Marvel, these, I mean, the only time, let me just see something. Let me see. Let's see. I want to look how much money it cost to make Doom Patrol, the DC show. How much did it cost? Let's see. Hmm. I want to know what the budget was. Okay, looking at this, I'm seeing here. Ooh, let's see. According to the Brave AI and such, it could be wrong. And but I'm gonna try to look at this probably looking at this at Bing, but I think that's the point. You look at all these other shows, ladies and gentlemen, and it is the problem is these budgets. You look at all these budgets and seeing over 800 million, all the other stuff. You know, see, all right, where is it? I'm looking to see the budget. I'm trying to find it. What the budget of the show is. Um, I can't seem to get it. I'm trying to find a budget. And supposedly, it looks like all I can find is Reddit post and everything else. And I'm like, I'm trying to find what the budget was. The only thing close is, let me just see. Let me just look at this. According to according to this, it's supposedly the budget was 20 million, starting at a cost at $20 million. The old DC, Doom Patrol, which was a banger, by the way. If you haven't watched it, you should. The pilot episode cost $20 million. Additionally, the budget for the remaining episodes is going to be $65 million. However, it's noted that this might be an active number, could be accounting practices, all of that. So this is, I mean, it is a low rent show. It didn't cost much to make it. They had big episodes, but there was a lot less. Meanwhile, here it cost, let me say again, this costs over 180 million. And that's a problem. You see, again, cost. It costs too much damn money to basically make these shows. And I want to see, and honestly, these are miniseries at the end of the day. They're not real TV shows. They don't have, you know, these long, like, it feels just these high budget miniseries that not episodic. They're just like, you have to watch every single episode. There's no time for filler. There's no time to breaks. It's just, yeah, nothing really hits. And it's funny because I look at some of the other shows that how people still watch. You know, the old most of the kids watch. They watch old school TV shows. They watch you know, they watch uh, you know, like Martin or Livingston comedies, but probably a lot cheaper. But and they said they're like, hey, it's great fun. But also shows like I think you know, not just Friends and all this stuff, but like long term stuff like Law and Order. They watch like Suits. They watch like Justified, and all these other shows. These things that people seem to watch or whatever. They watch that because it feels like it's long form or whatever, but it feels that there's like breathers. You can't just like, okay, let's sit back and relax and watch it. That stuff here. I mean, you look at and they're cheap to produce at the end of the day. Now they're just putting all their like front loaded stuff. And this has been a problem for a very long time. It has been a problem for these shows to do these things. It has been a problem for these shows, and this is why, ladies and gentlemen, the Acolyte is in this situation. This is the reason why no one watching these shows is because they put too much money in them for 8, 9 episodes, and you're like, wow, you know, that's the real issue, ladies and gentlemen. And all these other people. It's the reason why they put too much money into these shows, and now guess what happens? Guess what happens? You know, high cost, and and they no not enough returns. This is a problem. This high cost, and the returns will not be enough. And this is the reason why people are just looking at this. The reason why people are like saying, well, we got, there's a reason why, these shows get canceled. I mean, there's like, like I said, Andor, I like it's the second season, should have a drastically cut budget. The budget for these shows are just immense. And honestly, I feel like the Acolyte should like be a warning for these studios, but they won't do it. They're still gonna push through. They are still going to push through to these idiotic shows, this idiotic motion of putting all this money in. In fact, let me just see something right here. Let's see. I want to see how much Creature Commandos, you know, I want to see how much the show budget gonna be because it's animated. You know, it is an animated show, so yeah, I don't know. Probably since animation's not cheap, so here's hoping that it's not gonna be under. I hope it's under like 60 mil, but at this one I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm a little bit worried about that because at the end of the day, you're going to have to cut the stuff up because are people going to watch in these like eventual like because remember binging. They used to binge. People it still does happen. Being the first like the Fallout series, you put all that money in there and it binges the entire show. You just can't. You watch it an entire weekend and it just blurs in. Just like you miss stuff. You know, I know it's like, oh, you can watch it at any time. You can watch it. No, people are just gonna binge it and just go out like a weekend, binge it over the weekend. Binge the entire show over a weekend and be like, we're done. I'm not gonna, some might take, oh, I might do it like a week or whatever, but most people are going to binge. And I think the smart thing that DC, I don't know, the Max and I think Disney's doing that as well with the Acolyte and all these other shows is they're actually giving you know, a week a break, which they should be doing more because once you start putting the binge thing out there, it just goes to like, oh, it's great, and it just fades away. And that's just the things that's the one issue that these people have, these studios, need to learn. And there's a lot of stuff they need to learn. That to me is the worst issue about this problem. And because again, the Acolyte, and I want to say this about the show. I didn't watch the show. I'm gonna say this right now. Didn't watch it, so I can't talk about the quality of it. I can't talk about the quality. I cannot talk about. I watched the premiere before I went through the stuff here, and it was the first episode was fine. It was fine. I didn't like with everything else. I maybe get a full on retrospective when if I actually sit and actually watch the whole daggone thing because it looks like it can be fun or whatever. But uh, I just like no. I just feel like it doesn't really do it. And another thing that Disney has done with this Star Wars, this property, is try to make it like Marvel and try to have all this other stuff here. Like, oh, we're gonna have this over flood and Disney Plus, and it's not worked. It has failed. Like I said, even the stuff I did like, I like Andor, and I watched some of the stuff, Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. I watched some of that, good stuff. But the problem, it's all over Disney Plus. They've already diluted the stuff on Disney Plus. Same thing did with Pixar, and they realized, oh, I could put this in the movies. People will go see it. Huzzah! But I don't think they could do it with Star Wars because it just seems like the way it ended, it felt like eh. And another thing, which I keep saying about Star Wars, is that they're stuck. Look at the people, the recent stuff here. Jedi Survivor is stuck with the Empire. Same thing with Star Wars Outlaws, Empire, and the Mandalorian after the Empire. There is nothing with the Ray trilogy. There is nothing there. Oh, what about Star Wars Battlefront? Yeah, the one that basically everyone hates and they just dropped after all the other drama around it. That's great, guys. Good job. Good job, buddies. We did it. But yeah, this is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is a problem, and I don't think you can actually fix these problems by overflooding the zone with this content. And it doesn't matter, you know, what type of quality the content is, if it's just overflooded and trying to build up a streaming service that at the end of the day is just become a anchor to Disney. I'm like, oh, they're finally getting a little bit of profitability. I'm like, at this late date, I wouldn't be surprised in like maybe like in 5 or 10 years, Disney Plus will not exist because they'll look at it and say streaming was a huge mistake. And they're probably just like, we need to just dump this because it's been a huge money loser. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I know some are saying, oh, they finally got some ads and doing all this stuff. Man, it's going to be cable 2.0. And that's what it is. It's going to be cable 2.0. And that's is the most hilarious thing because streaming and on demand wanted to be people escape from cable. And yet here we are right back into it. Cable will always, it seems like, cable and this linear television basically is winning. And it proves, and that is going to be the case because you look at Tubi, you look at Pluto TV, you look at all these other type of free type of you know streaming shows, streaming platforms. Tubi is kicking Disney's butt. Let me just see this again. Let me just put this out there. Because I'm just gonna just remind y'all, I'm gonna show you this little stuff here, right here. hmm Where is it? Boom, right here. Share this app here. There it is. This last, a couple months ago, Tubi just had its biggest month yet. The free streamer is beating Disney Plus, and there it is. So yeah, it is. People are going, you know, Tubi reported an average audience of 46% more this time years ago. 1 million people are using the service at a time on average. That's a better showing for May than Disney Plus, which averaged an audience of 969,000 viewers. It is also a higher figure than Max, Paramount Plus, and Universal's Peacock. The only ad supporting platform to report higher viewers is YouTube. So yeah, it is basically um they're basically everyone's raising their ad stuff here. They everyone is raising the ads and cutting off shows money and such. Which let me just see one more. To talk about that, you have because again, let me just see this here. Da, da, da. Right here, a month ago. Let me just put this up here. I have it right here. Share this thing here, right here. Last month, Apple is cutting costs in the series and films. So yeah, it's overpaying. It's you see, even the only $3 trillion company, Apple TV is like they're feeling the pinch. They're doing a lot more. They're pushing their profitability. So yeah, a lot of it is because again, they haven't come cheap. A lot of these shows, they're just courting the likes of, like I said, the big stuff. Brad Pitt, Scorsese, Ridley Scott. You know, yeah, it's just it's just they don't really they're not making money. The shows are not making any profit. So they're just like, okay, look at this. All the delays and everything else is that they are going to ran 40 million over budget, and the season 2 episodes cost more than 20 million apiece. But they bring in Emmys, they bring in all these other stuff here. So they're getting prestige, but they're losing money. But at what point do you have to look at this and say, what do you want? Do you want awards or do you want money? And you want actually, stuff to actually return your investment. Personally, I would rather have the Tubi model, have like all the money and everything else. So there's going to be a lot of layoffs. There's going to be a lot of things happening in the studio because they don't have, they say it's smash up, but they don't make any money because there's no ads on their platforms, and now they're raising up money to basically say, okay, they're raising up subscriptions and getting an ad tier just so they can get an ad. So they're like, oh, we can make some money again. They can actually start making money because right now, every streamer, all of them are hurting. Apple TV is hurting. Netflix is hurting. Amazon Prime's hurting. Disney Plus is hurting. Max is hurting. Peacock's hurting. Paramount's hurting. All of them are hurting. I honestly think we're going to see more of these shows leave, and not the show, but these streaming services be packed up and rolled into, and shows like The Acolyte will not be made in such. I believe that is going to be the case. That is what's going to happen in these couple years. But that's just my personal opinion. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I want to hear what you have to say about that because, man, this is going to be a very bumpy ride, and I think it's going to take years, and I do mean years to do it. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna take a little bit of a break here. When we come back, guess what? We're going to talk about All In. AEW is All In. And we're going to be talking about that, my preview about the matches and how why I think it's going to take place. All of it here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening here with me, Dukect. Thank you so much. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back live. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me, Dukect live. Once again, how you feeling? How you feeling? Good. Hope you're feeling blessed. Hope you're continuing having a great evening here. By the way, remember Dukect Lounge is always live Thursdays and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, my live stream of had to take a break because of the talking. I was like, nah, the MGS Twin Snakes, and I will continue it Sunday. I'll probably Saturday. I don't know, one of those days. One of those days, I'm gonna see if I can just continue on because it is a beefy game, and I can't. It's just the talking. It's so much talking, so much damn talking. You know. Uh, so yeah, that's the update. And next time, I don't know. The next game I'm gonna do is probably like Deus Ex because I feel like they did a better job with the technology and gameplay, so much better. I did a little bit of streaming with that a couple months ago for my new computer, but I'm gonna get back into Deus Ex, Human Revolution. That's what I'm gonna do. I got the game. I have the video game. I actually have the whole thing, uh, the old game and everything else, the director's cut with you know, including all of the the commentary and everything, which is crazy. Gosh, I love that. But anyway, back to the show, back to everything else. You know, once again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But now let's get into All In 2024. Oh man, So much stuff, so much things to do, so much to talk about, so many things here. So let's talk about, let's get over with. Hi, guys. The Jericho Vortex hopefully ends with Hook winning the FTW title. I want that to happen so badly. So badly. And if I had the way of doing it, he wins, and then the next way Dynamite or maybe on the show says he's retiring it, and he's gonna do something important. He's gonna finally do something, and important. It starts tonight. Starts on Dynamite, the road to win a legitimate championship. So he's looking at the winner of the TNT championship. He's saying he's challenge. You could challenge. You know, for the winner of the TNT championship, Jack Perry or Darby Allin, and he wants to make that challenge at Grand Slam or something like that. Boom, there you go. Put Hook in that position, and we'll be done with it. And speaking of that, coffin match: Scapegoat versus the half dead man. Darby Allin. I have Scapegoat winning, and he wins definitively without the help of the Elite or anyone from the Elite. He beats Darby Allin, and he moves on. And I think he goes to Hook, and they have a great little feud. And they will see, and it looks like and they continue on and continue on. And I think he, personally, I think he loses to another person who's on this card. But I'll get to that later, personally. Anyway, let's get to the Bang Bang Gang and all the four, the ladder match. I think that ladder match there. I think Christian and his crew win, or I think Jay White helps out the Bang Bang Gang. They win, and they are going to be officially crowned the Trios champions. And the fourth guy, the other team, I think other team, I don't care. I think it's going to be a great match, a fun match, plunder and everything else. Jay White comes in, helps his team, moves on, and he goes. And maybe he looks after and looks down and says he needs to go get revenge on people. And it looks like, he goes after Christian or whatever. He has a match with Christian, and they have their feud. I think that match happens at if I was doing it at Grand Slam. After that, he goes after the winner of the American or international title, so I can strap him up. I know we're passing the title a little bit quickly, but maybe later on. But then Jay White needs to start really winning more, start becoming more of a focus. So yeah, anyway, next up, with the kickoff show, Ishii and Willow win, and in the match at All Out is going to be a I don't know, a hardcore street fight. There we are. Anyway, that's going to be it. There's probably going to be more matches, so I can't wait for that. Next up is the um, triple threat match, triple threat title match, tag team championship match. I have FTR picking up the victory. The Acclaim start going their breakup ways. They have a big feud, and Max Caster and everything else. And Anthony Bourne wins the feud, and he goes on by himself, and he at Full Gear or at World's End, whatever you prefer. He faces Jack Perry, wins the TNT Championship, tying that feud with the Elite and everything else. You build that up, you have him win as well. The Casino Gauntlet match, I don't know who's going to. I say Hangman or maybe, I don't know, Ricochet. Who knows? um, the All In, the American Championship. Will Ospreay wins. Tiger Drivers Max to hell and wins and gets his championship back. Names it the international title again, and we move on. And Max, I don't know what you do with him. I don't know. DMD loses to Mercedes, the CEO. Thanks, Camille. Looks like they're both being down. Jamie Hayter comes in, takes him out. We get a tag match at All Out between those two, and then it sets up the rematch at Grand Slam. that sort of thing. You can do that. And then you have Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Mariah May wins, but this feud is not over. I have May, you have, I think if I wanted to go crazy, let's get a little nuts. Um, I'm already, man, I'm booking a lot of stuff for, Grand Slam, but screw it. Tony Storm, Mariah May, part 2, last woman standing. No, maybe that's what. No, maybe a Hollywood street fight, something like that. Shades of Gold Dust and Roddy Piper or whatever, without the awkward OJ street chase thing. But yeah, maybe a Hollywood street fight. You have these two fight, and they win, and they have Marame bloody, and then get some Mina in there as well. Mina Saka, I can't pronounce her name. I just gonna call her Mina since she's great from Stardom. And it moves her into a feud with her, and it goes on for a long while, and then you just keep doing that stuff for a couple more, week or whatever. I don't know who beats her. Maybe Hater. I don't know. Hater could do it. But if I was going to do something for the AEW Women's Championship, I would rather have maybe Ty, maybe a returning Anna Jay after her Stardom excursion, or maybe other women in that locker room. Who needs that big championship push? I was, I'm, a little bit biased. I would love to have Trisha Adora do it. I would love to have that. Trisha Adora would be amazing as that, but you have to build her up. So the earliest is maybe, the earliest I believe you could build her up and have her as a, not just a legitimate contender, but also someone who could win probably at uh, Dynasty. And the latest you could do it is probably next year's All In. Yeah. But yeah, I think that could be something really good as well. Then we get to our main event, Talent and Career. The Dragon has been awakened after you saw Dynamite. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. And if Swerve does the impossible and beats Danielson, he is done. I want to say Swerve to keep his body count rising to really legitimize him because he's already legitimate. That will basically say yes, is the dude. But I think Bryan Danielson, at that point, that's that dragon in him. He might do the impossible, win, and then you can have him and Hangman have another big feud at All Out. Have Hangman get that big victory, and then he just gets his title run, maybe like at Full Gear, and just kills. I mean, murders Danielson to really just say he needs to be the champion again. He is the champion again, and just destroy Swerve every turn to get just and use the elite and VIPs to put Swerve into unwinnable situations, that sort of thing, until maybe Dynasty or maybe y'all maybe at a Revolution we might have that Swerve versus him Hangman again. That's what I feel. Anyway, that's my stuff, and can't wait to see this show. I'm very positive about this show. Can't wait to see it. It's gonna be like 1:00 in the afternoon, so yeah, not like four. You can do a 5-hour show doing that. Anyway, who cares? Like what, 6:00 in the evening? Who cares? Anyway, you can do that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. And I am so humbled every time people come in and listen to the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect. And I will peace and love, and I will see y'all when I see y'all later. Peace.